Aerial view of Hayward Field in Eugene, and built as a football stadium in 1919. The track lanes added a couple of years later. It's become hallowed ground as far as track and field, the greatest track and field facility in America. And if you don't normally follow track and field and you're looking at it and you say, you know, that looks familiar somehow or other, well, let's take you back 30 years to the classic movie Animal House.
Kickback and race, the 10-10.
Always try to hit through the ball.
Whoa, big fella,
Niedermeyer dead. Niedermeyer dead.
Well, part of the movie shot here at the University of Oregon, and that was Hayward Field, sure enough, in the background. Well, the heptathlon about to conclude. It's a 7-day event over 2 days. Today began with the long jump, the javelin, and coming up the 800 meters. And for a report on how it's gone so far, let's go to Dwight.
All right, Tom, first day, and it became the Hyleas Fountain Heptathlon as she sets an American heptathlon record in the 100-meter hurdles, 12:65. That would have medaled in every Olympics except Athens. And she clears 5:11.25 in the high jump. She is a 6'2" high jumper. And then in the third event, the shot put, another lifetime best as she extends her lead. And the final event of the first day, the 200 meters, and her third personal best of the day for 3,989 points and a 239-point lead over Diana Pickler and Jackie Johnson. And then dawns day 2, and she picks up where she leaves off. First event, the long jump, and on her very first jump, an all-time best 22 feet 7 inches for Fountain. Dan O'Brien is helping coach Jackie Johnson, the 4-time NCAA champion at ASU. She just graduated, and she's a decent javelin thrower, and she throws very close to her personal best as she long jumped close to her personal best, 156.6, and she remained in second place. Then Fountain in the 6th event, the javelin. And what does she do? Just another all-time best. 5 personal bests in 6 events for Hyleas Fountain. She is going to score over 6,700 points. She would have to fall down several times in the 800 to not win this national title and book her ticket to Beijing. She was 4th at the trials 4 years ago. Jackie Johnson of ASU solidly in second, and the real race is for the 3rd spot. All those ladies at the top 4 have an A standard for Beijing, but look, only 20 points separating Diana Pickler from Gigi Johnson, and Gigi is an excellent 800-meter runner.
All right, Dwight, so there is Hyleas Fountain, who is, as you said, barring catastrophe, on her way to a most impressive performance here at the Olympic trials after finishing in the worst spot imaginable, 4th last time around. She's going to about to send a message to the rest of the world.
Probably so, and as Dwight mentioned, a strong 800-meter runner has a best of 2:16.79 in competition here, so let's see if she can reduplicate that.
Jackie Johnson also appears to be firmly ensconced in second place, and as Dwight said, the battle between Diana Pickler and Gigi Johnson. Gigi Johnson would need to beat Pickler by about 1.5 seconds to pass her for 3rd place in the final trip to Beijing.
And it'll be important for these ladies to establish some position. Just think about this, folks. Now, this is the 7th competition in 2 days, so you've already contested 6 events, and somehow you have to find enough energy to run this thing with purpose and to make sure that you've got focus and attention on splits, because now a trip to the Olympics is on the line.
Racing against a table that gives scores, except in the case of Johnson and Pickler, who head-to-head, as we said, Gigi Johnson needs to beat Diana Pickler about 1.5 seconds in this 800 meters in order to take the 3rd spot. You see Gigi Johnson out to the front. Gigi Johnson with Diana Pickler second. So the two combatants, first and second now, with the battle for 3rd place on the line. It looks like Fountain will win it and Jackie Johnson second. So the battle is for 3rd between the two up front. Gigi Johnson, who leads Diana Pickler.
And Gigi Johnson's personal best in the 800 in the midst of a heptathlon is 2:16.55. Pickler's is a little bit slower, 2:19.08, and so she'll have to find a way to run a personal best to make the Olympic team.
Johnson leading Pickler in that battle for the 3rd and final spot. right?
Well, and the fact of the matter is that 2.5 seconds really separate their personal best. And these conditions down here, as you guys know, it's in the mid-80s and very humid. It's just really a matter of who has the most amount of heart. That's what we're going to find right here as Gigi Johnson is starting to try to gap Diana Pickler. Pickler knows she has to stay within a couple of strides in order to book her ticket to Beijing. She was in Osaka last summer.
Here they are into the home straightaway, and Gigi Johnson leading Diana Pickler. Who will go to Beijing? Gigi Johnson needs to win it by about a second and a half. And here they come. She's still pulling away. Who will make the trip to Beijing? Well, Gigi. Diana Pickler finishing second. Fountain and Jackie Johnson coming across the finish line with the first and second spots wrapped up. And now it will go to the watches and the scoring table to determine who goes to Beijing. Will it be Johnson or will it be Pickler?
You imagine waiting for the answer.
After 7 events, they were kicking all out to the finish. Will it be Johnson? Will it be Pickler? We'll have the answer when we come back to the Olympic trials. Back to Eugene, Oregon. The victory lap underway, and it's Diana Pickler exchanging high fives. She holds on to get the 3rd spot in the heptathlon, and she'll be making the trip to Beijing. She beats Gigi Johnson by 10 points.
And let's go back to the replay, Tom. Right there you see Gigi Johnson in the glasses thinking that she has this wrapped up, that she's got her spot on the team. And watch as she gets to the finish line, she begins to move her arms out there in a bit of a celebration. She lost her spot, Gigi Johnson did, by 0.7 of a second. She needed to beat Pickler by 1.5 seconds. And so now the question is, did she celebrate a bit too early?
Well, Diana Pickler's happy about it. As she holds on, she didn't give up. She kept driving, and she did make it. So Fountain wins, Jackie Johnson second, Diana Pickler is third. That will be the U.S. heptathlon team that will head to Beijing. And Hyleas Fountain, with a beautiful 2 days of the heptathlon, says that she will be a medal contender in Beijing, joined by Jackie Johnson and Diana Pickler on the U.S. team.